shades, but
No, you got like a whole persona going on right now. This is awesome.
Yeah, hey,
Right,
wrestling wise, now that could be a wrestling persona.
Right?
yeah,
Hold on. This isn't Adrian we're talking to. We're talking to Tony D.
yeah.
It's Tony D.
Yeah.
Tony D's
Yeah,
in the
that's
house.
my alter ego. Oh yeah. Don't forget to wear your Blade Shade sunglasses, guys. Official sponsor.
Are we
Official
recording right now?
sponsor. Yeah, we're on, buddy. But we're just gonna fuck around for a bit. All right.
Well, go
Don't
ahead.
forget to drink water too. Remember, guys. Don't forget to drink water
Yes,
Oh yeah. what we
and
got?
wear your Blade Shades. These hockey sunglasses are great for the summer. Sign up now and receive 10% off with code Adrian10 to get saved 10%. I don't have any of that, but
I was about to say, like, hold on. I'm starting to fall for this. Is it real? Like, I'll use it.
I love these sunglasses though. But
So,
yeah, it's a vibe, guys. What's for our viewers, what's going on? This is some big news we're gonna announce just now, but this is our last episode of Project 24, guys.
Wow.
So don't worry, we're not leaving. We're not leaving.
Take it in, guys. Take it in.
So we are going to be, the three of us are going to be rebranding the show to, it's going to be called the Doghouse Sports Podcast. So basically, that's right. We're gonna call our virtual house, we're gonna call it the Doghouse. So
Yeah.
every time. But yeah, man. So it's gonna be just again the same sports content we always talk about. And yeah, even we'll have guests on. I'll have my dog on the show, so it'll be like a different kind of thing. I want to have a niche for this show that people will remember it by. So even our guests, I'll encourage them to have their dogs on the show while we're talking and talk dogs.
If they have dogs. If
Crash
they have
beers if they want, and fucking talk about
Murphy's the
sports.
goat, by the way.
Oh, thanks. I'll let him know.
Murphy's
Might have to have him on for a bit. I don't know. He's very skittish, so we'll see. I might have to
'cause I saw
change the
Murphy
setting.
leaving after
Yeah.
half an interview during the.
Oh yeah, I brought him on the one time. Yeah,
Aw.
yeah, and the boys were like, "Oh, it looks like Adrian's got a little guest with him." I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh," and then Dale's like, "Oh, can't go wrong with a little beer and a dog." I was like, "Hell yeah, buddy, can't go wrong with that."
And Murphy became the star.
That's right. And then I had a bunch of people hitting me up after. They were like, "Oh, such a cute dog." I was like, "Thanks." Yeah, he's my buddy.
He is, though, man.
But yeah, guys, we're
Thanks.
probably gonna have a Murphy cam. So.
Oh, for sure. We're gonna have
Yeah.
Murphy's partner.
Murphy Cam will be wild.
And again, whenever I'm gonna tell the guests too, whenever we have guests on, say, "Hey, have your dogs on too." It's like a whole thing. We'll have a whole thing, and
But first, we
you know
gotta ask
cool?
if they have dogs. That's the question.
Yeah. that's true.
And you know what? Go get one for the show. No.
have a mascot. Oh man, that would be
Right?
crazy.
Dude.
Actually, that'd
No,
be
we already
wild.
got a mascot.
Yeah, Murphy's kind of unofficially the mascot because the logo is
Basically.
kind of inspired by him. So
Right?
yeah. Oh, dude, it's great though. I'm so stoked, guys.
Dude.
And for the viewers too, the intro video is gonna be fucking fire, man. Shout out to my buddy Michael, the Growing Photographers is Instagram handle.
And you know
Go check
what?
him out. Great
Shout out to our
freelancer.
friend. Shout out to our friend Alex for doing the logo.
Yeah, for doing the logo too. I gotta give the credit where it's due. Gotta give Alex credit, and Quinn, you
And
designed
shout
it.
out to Quinn for making a merch logo.
Yeah, we got a bunch of logos too. I mean, we got a lot of work with, and man, it's I'm really excited. I'm really excited. It's gonna be good. I think, again, the whole Quinn. I remember I told you back then why I wanted to start this whole thing.
Yep.
It was because last year was my champagne birthday party, and
Boys, time to go down memory lane.
yeah, man, I couldn't even have a birthday party because COVID, and this was kind of my birthday present to myself, I guess, right? So the whole 24 thing kind of always was kind of a thing for me, and then it's something you want to change it up a little. It's kind
And
of
we got road bumps come a long way, but hey.
Yeah, you know what though? It's man, I didn't think I'd ever my wildest dreams, where we are now, when we're our first episode. It's crazy how things work out, Quinn?
Right.
It's
just the evolution of everything.
Just crazy the people you meet along the way, and just man.
And can I say, I think I told Adrian, could we be the next Barstool Sports?
Oh, that's a tall tale, but that would be nice, man. Just
That
gotta
could
work.
be a
Or-
tall-
on post-
Or the
or
first Doghouse Sports.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I don't like. I've been thinking about it. Like, I don't want to be the next Barstool. I want to be my own thing, right?
Yeah, true.
That's how you always want to try to think. Like, I even like we talk about it in sports when like, fucking when Stephen A. Smith was like Devin Booker is going to be the next Kobe. It's like, no, let Devin Booker be Devin Booker. Let
Yeah,
him be
man.
himself. Let him create his own
He's
legacy.
great in his own
Way.
way. Like that
Yeah.
kid, the things that he's done to take Phoenix undefeated last year in the bubble,
Yeah, that
and
was
like
crazy.
don't make the playoffs, and then they get Chris Paul, and Chris Paul turns Devin Booker into an even bigger weapon,
Mhm.
and he's like the perfect accent to Booker's skills on top of it.
Oh, facts. I totally agree, man.
Definitely. Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton's a monster. That team scares the shit out of me.
That team.
I did
Oh
not
man.
expect them to just demolish teams the way they were.
I didn't either. Like, I knew they were good, and like I honestly,
I
I
knew
love
they were
Chris
good,
Paul.
but I didn't know they were.
Yeah, I didn't know they were that good. Like, I kind of
I thought
underestimated
Utah was
Chris
better.
Paul. Yeah,
I
that
thought
too.
Utah was
Yeah,
a better team.
excuse me. People were like saying Utah was gonna go would be where Phoenix is right now, right? And
Well, especially you look at like
crazy.
the way Donovan was playing again. Like, oh man, that team looked like they were going to be able to do it. But like Rudy Gobert is just a monster
Yeah, Rudy.
in
Yeah,
terms
he's
of his
sick.
defensive abilities. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like this is going to be a fun series to watch though.
Oh,
'Cause
Oh,
It's like
I agree.
if the Bucks get their not their first championship, if Giannis gets his first championship, I think it's the Bucks' first championship since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played on the team. If they win,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
so like that's a wild
In
stat
itself,
by
it's just
itself,
crazy.
right? Like damn.
Yeah.
And Phoenix has never won one. Like last time they were there, I think was with Charles
1993.
Barkley. Yeah, against the Bulls.
You know, it's a crazy stat. I think we were talking about this the other day. First time since 1993 that the Habs and Suns are in a final in
Right?
the NBA and the NHL.
oh God.
That's pretty crazy.
Oh my
Like,
god.
Dude.
kind of too coincidental, if you ask me. Like, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Fuck. But yeah, when Charles Bark, man, he was so good though. When him and MJ were going at it and stuff, dude.
Dude,
so
I
good.
used to love Barkley back in the day.
So
I know, he's such an
yeah,
asshole, but he's fucking awesome, man.
Right? And that it was the weird thing too, because I never took to like the asshole characters a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But Barkley, I thought he was like no nonsense, man. I loved
Yeah,
it.
he's no bullshit. Zero
Shaq.
tolerance, man.
David Robinson was my dude though.
He was good.
Yeah.
So guys,
Yeah, man.
if you were a betting man, who are you getting?
Whew.
Adrian.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll go first, but I'm going. I'm going Suns in 6, man. I was jokingly saying on my Instagram Suns in 4 because of that guy.
That's the guy, yeah. The
Oh,
Suns and
The
4
guy-
guy.
Yeah, the
and
Suns
4.
in 4 guy. But I actually think
Suns and 4 guys. Yeah, I'm gonna say. Ooh, I'm gonna say Bucks and 7.
Ooh,
Ooh, that's a bold one. I like it.
right? Oh
I
my
like
god.
it.
Okay, now I'm on the spot.
All good, man.
This one is tough for me. I'm gonna Suns. Suns in 5.
Oh.
5. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a
I
bold one
don't-
too.
Hey, we put it on
The
record.
way-
We got this on record.
right? Because I look like Atlanta put a hurting on Milwaukee in those games that they won. And
Yeah.
for them to come back and get one against Milwaukee too, I don't see them as strong as a team as a Phoenix. So I'm like,
yeah.
but then again, like Giannis could go off, man, and that's
Yeah.
the other factor. Like, when Giannis was down, game 6, and then like Chris Middleton, oh my god, I'm forgetting everybody on the team right now. Bobby
no worries.
Bobby Portis, there was 4 or 5 different guys who went 20 plus. So if they can get that kind of production, Jacob might be right. Bucks in 7, but I'm gonna go Suns in 5. Suns in 5.
That's a good pick. I was thinking about this too. I was talking to my brother about this earlier because we were talking about the finals earlier today. But like, because I don't know if you saw that nasty injury that Giannis got. I think it was in Game 5 with his knee.
Yeah.
And obviously he's going to be playing. But you got to consider the fact he may not be 100% healthy, right?
Yep.
So that's another
that's
thing
the
that's.
So for me, it's gonna be: is he gonna do what Kawhi did and you
Ooh.
bite down and you grit and you push through and end up being a difference maker? Or is it going to get into the back of his head? Is it going
Yeah.
to affect him and make him worry about things? Is it going to be like when KD came back and then hurt himself again and couldn't play?
Yep.
So it's a lot of different dynamics around that
A
one.
lot of what ifs for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good series. I'm actually really stoked for this. It's like a different NBA final. Like no LeBron, no Steph Curry, no KD.
Yeah.
Like
Those big
it's
stars
different,
are
you
just-
know?
Yeah, man. And
I
like
still
Chris
can't
Paul's
believe it.
first one.
Chris Paul,
Paul's
yeah. I'm so
first
happy
time
for
in
him,
the
man.
finals. Like
At
even
36,
if he
dude.
doesn't win it, just the fact that he was at least able to get there.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
that's like everyone was kind of, it became more less about him winning and more about him not even being able to make it to the finals. And then
Yeah.
now he surrounds himself with a team out there in Phoenix like that. Like, oh,
I'm telling you though, I gotta say, like, I don't know if I mentioned this like a few minutes ago, but like I did underestimate Chris Paul. I thought he was washed, but man, I am so happy. I'm happy that I was wrong because man, he's just I'm telling you, he's one of the best point guards to ever play in this
hands
game.
down, dude.
Absolutely, man.
I think he was just a bad mesh with
James Harden.
out in Houston.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think because he was in. Did he go to OKC? Why am I thinking?
Yeah,
he
he
was in
did. He did go
Yeah,
to
he did,
OKC
one
actually, I
season
think.
right
for like a
before.
year or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that one to me, it felt like it was just a stopover. Like he wasn't gonna be there long. Like nothing was gonna really come with it. Like you know what I mean? But yeah, no, Phoenix is like everything just started to open up.
I'm just so happy for him, man. It's like, and him, the way like the respect that him and Devin Booker have for each other as teammates is just like I find is like a whole different vibe. Like, you know what I mean? Like I would see clips of like him and Harden fucking screaming at each other on the bench, and like I'm like that's like you can't, your co-stars cannot be doing that.
No.
Like if you
That's
want to
like
win,
having
can't
two
be doing
alpha
that.
males.
Yeah, unless you're at the level
Exactly,
of
Jacob.
unless you're at the
Facts.
level of like a Kobe and Shaq too. Like
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean?
for
Like
sure.
those were two of the elite, like the most elite to ever grace the game. So
Yeah.
if they're at each other, it's in a different way where it's like they're still getting results. Like James and Chris, it was just their games didn't mesh well together, and then on top of it, they're butting heads.
And I
Yeah.
say it's like having two lions fighting over a meat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a great
real
analogy,
shit. Yeah,
actually.
that's a great. Yeah, fuck, it's so
Jeez.
true.
Need to get
It's
like a
like-
lion roar in there for that one.
Get the Lions Den going, you know, like
Right?
fuck they. You know what the problem is too? Like I know we've talked about this before. Quinn is like James Harden again. He's that player. He likes to have the ball. He wants to shoot. He wants to control the play. And again, same with CP3. He loves controlling the play. Obviously,
Yep.
him being a point guard, which obviously you're kind of like the quarterback out there, right?
Yeah,
So
it's kind of part of your job description.
Yeah,
when you're
exactly.
on the court, right?
you
Like,
gotta
and
make the
he's
calls and
yeah, he's a facilitator at the end of the day, right? Like, and if
Facts.
needed, he can be the guy that's going to put up a 20-10 for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like 10 assists. But
yeah,
yeah, no, like to have a dangerous player out there like a Devin Booker who can kind of beat you everywhere on the court. DeAndre Ayton is just phenomenal inside the
I like
paint.
Jay Crowder too.
Crowder, I love
I
Jake.
like Crowder.
I've been a big
Yeah.
fan of Crowder for a long time.
Yeah, he's
Long,
great.
long time. Like
He
I
hasn't been
love his
used
attitude.
properly
Yeah.
at certain other teams.
By the way, did you guys see the Milwaukee fans showing up for their team? In the video?
No, I didn't see that.
Did not.
Hold on a second though, boys. I'm just gonna charge my laptop. Hold on. You guys
Hey, yo.
continue. I'll be back in a
Hey,
second.
yo.
But yeah, the video, the score,
Yep.
dude, I swear it felt like a lot of fans showing up.
Was it like outside the arena or
I believe so. I think I sent it to you guys in the group chat.
group chat? All right, cool. Definitely got to check that out. Yeah, no, man, that's you need that support. You need that support big time for your team.
Exactly. But yes, we'll put this on record. We'll come back in like what 5, 6, or 7 games. And we'll
Right? See what's happening, right? And
We'll
that's
see who's right. Don't worry.
real quick, we'll see what's up.
I know, right? And we're back with Adrian with the laptop.
And back to your currently scheduled programming.
Exactly. Hey,
Oh, that's great.
Keep this in. Keep
Yeah,
keep
do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't even know
But,
what happened, but keep
Yeah,
it in.
right. A lot happened. You missed it. It's like
shit.
Haley's Comet, bro.
It's
Comes
okay.
once in a lifetime.
It's a lifetime.
Once
Oh
in a
man, I
lifetime.
think I'm missing something now.
Right?
Oh,
But
good ball.
yeah, I know. All right, so we got Suns in 5, Suns in 6, and Bucks in 7.
Good picks, boys. I fucking
We'll
like.
come back in 5, 6, or 7 games, and we'll see who's right.
Yeah, I honestly, I think those are some good probable. They could be reality. Like I'm not even kidding. I'm not just saying that. Like, I think that those are some good picks. Yeah, I would like to see a 7-game series actually.
Personally,
It
I'm
could.
always a big proponent of 7-game series. The fans get more out of it. You get to see more out of the athletes and like who really wants it more when you get to. Because the thing with that game 7 is like, all 6 games go away. It's like you haven't played a series at that point. You need to go in fresh into one game, and it becomes a winner takes all, right? Like it's the Super Bowl at that point. One game, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it was a great 2 game 7s from the NBA Finals that were so good. I remember in 2010 was Boston and LA.
Oh,
You remember that one, Quinn?
I do.
Oh, dude.
That one was
I
fire.
wanted Boston to win. I was like, fuck, dude. That was unreal.
That was one of the first times I ever wanted the Lakers to win.
Yeah.
And it was tough for me because if I remember, they beat out the Spurs in the conference finals that year.
I think they did, yeah.
Maybe. It was either in the conference finals or they beat them out in the second round.
Uh-huh.
I know they eliminated the Spurs. There was like a series of years where it was like Spurs, Lakers, like just constantly going head to head.
That's
It's
true.
just like, man, I can't deal with Kobe beating us.
Seriously. Then it took a while because Kobe kind of declined.
I gotta say, God rest his soul.
I know, man.
That one still affects me.
It's a year and a half, man. It's just
still doesn't feel real is the weird part.
I know.
Like you're just like waiting for him to like pop around a corner and like
There's like like honestly, there's like it's crazy because that happened before COVID too. Like 2 months before the whole
it's weird because it was like a spiral, like a storm of shit at that time. You know what I mean? Like Kobe dies, and then COVID's hitting, and then the lockdowns, and
fucking
then
Australian wildfires,
fires.
fires.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's that too. I was like, what the fuck is going on with this world, man? Like, Jesus.
It just felt like the rapture had come.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like everything that was good was ending.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, Jesus, still fucking pretty bad, but that's a whole other can of worms. You know?
I know, right?
Fuck, I was gonna.
There's another whole can of worms.
That's a whole other can of worms I do not want to get into. But there was. Do you know what's crazy about Kobe though? Like, it's kind of fucking crazy. Like, there's like some people on like conspiracy theories on TikTok that like LeBron James like sacrificed him as like a satanic thing. I'm like, what?
Okay.
I'm like, hold on a second. Whoa, hold on. That's kind of fucked up. Like
there's some now, and I think this is the so here we go. The problem with free speech and social media being the way that it is that anyone can right, and now like anyone has an inkling of something. Like I look at like the flat Earth thing, and I'm just like, if that was able to spiral the way it did, what else can? You know what I mean? So like something like that with the LeBron thing, just like taking off then on TikTok like that.
Yeah, I mean, like personally, I'm all for the free speech, but yeah, like I mean, hey, it's a fucked up thing to say, but it's free speech, right? So
and that's the thing. At the end of the day, it's okay.
It's all good.
Just educate is all, man.
Yeah. Even like Kyrie is a fucking flat earther.
Flat earther, yeah, he is.
Man.
And there's so many athletes too that are just like, I don't know, man. Like just
hey, that's another can of worms.
Probably hits the blunt and he's like, oh my god, the world is flat.
I actually watched this video. So it was a legit scientist, smart guy, sat down with like a flat earther, and his is all like personal research that he's done, not necessarily has a degree to focus on these kinds of things, whereas the other guy is like a PhD scientist.
Yeah, like fuck, you can't go
and
on with that.
It was amazing to see the two of them sit down and have the conversation, because the scientist is basically like telling him like, no, like we have proof, this isn't structured. Like this isn't like they went to the moon. Many people went, and the reason why it stopped was because the amount of resources that it took just to get there and the money would just everyone would end up going bankrupt because it's like millions and millions of dollars to put in space programs to build these rockets, get the rocket fuels,
Billions of
all the
dollars,
machinery
yeah.
to oxygenate these humans leaving the planet and doing the stuff. And he's like, and then we've seen curvatures of the earth. You can see it in a plane, you can see it in pictures. And the guy's like, yeah, but he's like, everything was kind of just like nothing factually pointing out, just a lot of like what if questions and just playing like a devil's advocate almost at times. But
Yeah.
the intriguing part was watching them enjoy the conversation with each other and saying at the end that they would sit down with each other and like have a beer again and talk about it again.
That's okay though. Like that's good that people can, you can have a conversation even if it's like, you think the earth is flat, that's fine. Like, hey, you're allowed to have that opinion. Or you think LeBron fucking sacrificed fucking Kobe for a satanic fucking ritual. Hey, I don't think it's true, but hey, you're allowed to have that opinion. Fuck.
Bro,
like
I remember when it happened too, everyone was like, oh, something happened with the helicopter. Someone did something.
Do you know what is kind of scary though? Is that I think in like a Simpsons episode like years ago,
they predicted
like 2016 or 17, Kobe did die in a helicopter crash. So,
dude, the Simpsons always.
And I think someone came. Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like a foreshadowing kind of show.
I think Matt Groening's a time traveler. I fucking firmly believe that.
Supposedly, like Family Guy's on that kick now too. Like
they called the Kevin Spacey thing. Fucking Stewie. I was watching the episode yesterday. Stewie's like, "Oh, I just escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement." I'm like, this was like in 2006,
right? Like well before it wasn't even a thought about that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
so makes you wonder. Either A, do they have knowledge of things, of plans or whatever? B, are they time travelers? C, is it fucking coincidence? You know what I mean? Like, the Simpsons stuff is wild though.
Like with the whole like Kevin Spacey joke and everything, like I don't want to go too much into this, but like I know like even like Harvey Weinstein with the whole Me Too thing movement, and I remember Seth MacFarlane made a joke at like one of these award shows. He was hosting it. And he was saying like, "Oh, don't worry, ladies, you don't have to pretend to like him now." And it's like years later, people were like sussed out by that. They're like, "Y'all knew about it back then."
And MacFarlane had the balls.
I still can't believe MacFarlane like voiced Stewie, Brian, Peter, and every other character you can think of.
He said his throat and like his vocal cords hurt so much after recording an episode. He said like it's like horrible. Yeah, I don't know how
Brian's voice is the same thing as
Brian's voice is his voice.
Yeah, it's just his main voice. Yeah,
it's that one kills me every time. Oh, hey, Stewie.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's just Seth MacFarlane.
What I want to understand.
He actually
Joe Swanson though. That's
Patrick Warburton. Yeah.
You know, me and Bonnie are just gonna go down to the store.
Oh God.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter. I love that actor.
Bonnie's out of town.
That's New Jersey Devil guy from Seinfeld.
Yeah,
man.
Patrick Warburton.
And he kills the priest or whatever by giving him a heart attack.
He was at the fucking the Devils had when they were in the playoffs, like I think it was 2017. He was at one of the games, like kind of like trying to be like this, like influencer kind of guy. Yeah, it was cool with the whole makeup and everything. It was
awesome. I loved watching them during that period in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like they were one of my favorite teams to watch with like Scott Stevens. Oh my God. Thank you. Niedermeyer was the other one I was trying to think of. Broder, obviously. Like you can't go wrong. For me, it's him, Waugh, and Putvin are like my three favorite goalies of all time. Putvin just because it was like that was the first goalie I really like properly watched growing up. And then Waugh was at that time, he was just amazing. And then Broder is like who I fell into watching him in New Jersey.
Broder.
Yeah, he was one of the goats. I want to say I heard this one story about Broder. I don't know if it's true though, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Somebody told me this. So apparently, like, which I think this is actual common knowledge, but he did his first wife he's not with anymore. He divorced her, and apparently he had an affair with his wife with his sister-in-law, which was his wife's sister. But it gets better.
Oh, what?
Better.
What?
How the hell does it get better?
How does it get better?
Apparently, he did anal on her. He did anal.
Babe, we're not cheating if we put it in this one.
Yeah, it's not the right hole, so it's okay.
Hey, you know what Eddie Guerrero once said? If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Oh my god.
That's great
It's
too.
so. Oh god.
Like it's one thing to like, it's horrible to cheat on your fucking spouse, regardless, man or woman, right? But it's just like, first of all, it's like with your sister-in-law, with like your wife's sister, and you fucked her in the ass. Like, come on,
I
like,
gotta know. Did you at least do it to your wife?
oh man, like, talk about greasy, man. But I remember somebody told me that like years ago because he heard that on like a podcast or something. So
Damn.
boy,
what a
I don't get
savage.
fucking sued for defamation of character now, but we'll see.
Nah. It'll be alright.
I'll be fine. But
we're not affecting his ability to make money. It's fine.
no, he's not gonna fucking.
Don't worry.
He's
about
not gonna
All
care.
of a
He'll
sudden
probably
you get
laugh and be
a
like,
fucking email. Listen,
"Oh,
buddy.
imagine that." He'll probably laugh if he saw this. He'd just laugh and be like, "Hell yeah, I just did it, fucking right."
Right? Damn right.
Take no shame into it, but man, oh man. Speaking of, oh, that's not really shame. I feel bad for her, but this one really not just the sports world, but kind of hit like the mainstream kind of like media and like everywhere. Was the story about Sha'Carri Richardson? Was that Olympic runner, the 100-yard dash? She was supposed to compete in the Olympics, and I mean, she took her drug test
and she failed.
before going, and she's been suspended for the Olympics, which sucks.
Which, and here's the kicker:
For
it's
weed.
not being suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. It's for out of competition. Oh, what do they call it? I forget the term for the actual class of
It's just
marijuana.
banned substances, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think there was like a term for it.
Stupid.
But yeah,
If
no,
I can
that
find it on.
Feel for the girl. She lost her mom. Her mom passed away apparently,
Yep.
and she was having trouble coping with it. And I mean, weed's like the best therapy,
Mhm.
to be honest. So, like,
One
yeah,
thing
she
that
just
was-
smoked.
Sorry,
and-
go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. That's all I was gonna say.
I was just gonna say, it like watching some of the social media kind of go off on this, and the constant thing I keep seeing is, well, she knows the rules, and
Yeah, that
she
is at
fucked
the
up.
same time.
And it's
there
like
is
I
rules.
understand that, right?
I
Like
understand the authority aspect. I do, but
totally
I mean,
totally understand it and respect it, but there's also circumstance. We need to look at why she was doing it. Whether or not there's a history of use is no importance in that moment. It's why was she getting caught? And my thing is, this isn't just one Olympic athlete. We've seen it for now almost 20 years. We've seen Shaun White have his medals revoked
Michael
because
Phelps.
he tested. Michael Phelps got like
Quit.
commended for it.
Yeah, and he quit.
And-
He's like,
Yeah, I
fuck it,
can't find the
I
post.
smoke
Yeah.
weed.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's like you have a situation like that, and it's like, I don't know, man. To just take someone out of competition, and here's the kicker, though, it's only a 1-month suspension that she got,
Wow.
meaning that she's only going to miss the Olympics, and she's going to be able to be in every other competition outside of that.
Yeah,
So it's just so coincidental. I've never been a big fan of like WADA's done a great job with like sports like cycling, like that had to be cracked down. Like Lance Armstrong was a freaking
Lance Armstrong.
Oh, that's different.
cycling
Like
world. Like that,
doping and
dude. Did you watch the 30 for 30 on him, the 2-part series?
no, I didn't see it.
Oh my god, it was like
He
the
lied
king of
on
the
the
mafia.
fucking-
He was
shit,
controlling the whole cycling world, dude. Like
Yeah, you say.
was top of the
That's
food
gross.
chain. If you did something, he would muscle you out and have you removed from the cycling world. Like
That's
it was
fucked.
the amount of power he had, and he admits to it. He admits to it that he enjoyed it and all this stuff. So you're just like,
fucked up.
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Yeah, he's an asshole. I don't like Lance Armstrong. Lost all the respect I had for him when that fucking story came out. He started like tried like being like the victim, like, oh, I have cancer, and then he goes and fucking cheats.
Yeah.
I'm just based on like an asshole thing, but like maybe he had cancer because you were fucking doing steroids.
Could have been a possibility.
I know it sounds kind of bad saying
steroids.
that, but
he was taking like it was for oxygen and everything, and it like masks oxygen. I can't remember the exact thing. Like, I've studied this and I should know better, but
that's okay, man.
Don't worry, bro.
Yeah, no, he's some kind of special. The documentary does a good, or not the documentary. He does a good job at making you feel for him at moments, because then you start to bring yourself back to the human aspect of everything. It's like, well, yeah, he's a human. He made mistakes.
Basically, like a Jekyll and Hyde
But,
kind of situation.
Yeah, exactly. Which then makes it like, what is good and what is evil, right? Like, it's all subjective at the end of the day. What's good to some, like, I remember hearing somebody make a quote about, I want to say that it was John Legend that said this, but it was something about heroes, and that nobody can tell someone like who their hero is, basically. Like, to some people, and this is going to be like such an absurd example, but to some people, like, Hitler was a hero.
No, it's fucked up to say, but dude, he was too.
Right?
Yeah.
To like a
big number of people, man.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
fucked up.
At the end of the day, it's subjectivity of like, our morality isn't something that's universal with everyone. Like, people have different moral values and ethical values, and it just gets crazy with that. But yeah, back to Sha'Carri, it's like, I think it's a double standard. I think if you're going to come down on her, it needs to be a full investigation into every athlete competing in the Olympics. Like, I know they're all tested, but I feel like with certain athletes, like, you have to like pull up certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like they were looking for it with her. And it was just after her winning this big fucking race that put her in the Olympic trials. You know what I mean? So it was like, this is the timing of everything is very interesting.
It's very sus. Yeah, I agree, man. It's like the one thing I was saying too about like the whole thing is like most of the sports leagues around the world, like I know in North America anyways, like the NBA doesn't care about pot anymore. I'm pretty sure the NFL's loosened up. The NHL is not considered an illegal substance. Like everyone's kind of like adapted to that kind of. And again, it's not like weed's actually like the safest drug you could do. Like, fuck. I mean, like if he was like smoking crack or something, I'd be like, okay, I kind of get that. You know, that's kind of fucked up. But like
the Raptors player,
yeah,
bro, remember I brought it up too. Like,
yeah.
in order for him to get, like, weed's not banned. Like, other shit, like steroids is not a banned substance for gay players. Take that in.
It's not.
So
Steroids
this guy got caught doing either an opiate, an amphetamine, or like snorting some white stuff.
Yeah, the booger sugar, man, the nose beers. Yeah, he was, man, that, like, you can look in that guy's eyes and I can tell he was like fucked. Like, I don't want to be like I don't mean that in a bad way, but like you can tell like he was on, so like, you know, drug was controlling him. And I hope he just gets man. I hope he just gets cleared up and cleaned up, and you never like to see that. But I mean, dude, it's just so frustrating to see, like, I mean, you know, like weed's weed's not a bad drug. Like, it's not a performance enhancer. I don't know about these fucking idiots that are banning her from the Olympics. Like,
if anything, it slows your reflexes. It's like taking a goddamn Vicodin before going into like an MMA fight or something.
Yeah, seriously. Like, bro, I don't know. It's so funny. It's so funny because, after I finish smoking a joint or smoking like the pen, I want to fucking just sit on the couch. I want to do shit.
Yeah, I'm not running in a goddamn race. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, what the hell? You're not gonna,
bro,
there's some people that can do it, but
I got 50 meters of the 100. keep going. I'll catch up.
Like, I'm getting there.
I set a new world record, slowest 100-meter time.
That's amazing
my
though.
God.
So we're gonna fast forward to the
Change gears.
change gears, and we'll go to the Stanley Cup Finals. We got
Oh, God.
Montreal's in a little bit of trouble,
Ah.
down 3-0. But you know what?
But can I say?
Yeah, no, go.
They've been there before, down like what 3-1 against the Leafs. It's gonna be a tough. It's gonna be a tough trial, but Tampa
telling
is
you-
way better than the Leafs. That's all I'm saying.
And hey, Tampa is the better team than Montreal. Like I will admit that, but I will say this: like, there's no way this team, this Montreal team, is gonna want the Stanley Cup to be hoisted in their own arena by the road team. Their fans would not. The fans would be absolutely.
It would be a shit show
would not
afterward. I
happen.
think we'd have a riot.
I remember.
I don't know about so much a riot, but the fans would just be like, and the players, they don't want the road team cucking them in their own fucking arena.
That's the worst thing you can have.
Yeah, you're getting cucked in your own arena, and the fucking team, the road team, is like hoisting the cup in your arena. That's like a huge cuck job, man. I wouldn't want that.
What was the last away team to win the cup?
2019
Blackhawks. Oh, it was 2019.
Yeah, they won. I think it was Game 7 against the Bruins. Yeah, they beat them. That was a good series.
If they somehow come back from this, my God,
it's possible. But honestly, like,
if they come back from this could be a good Cinderella story.
Oh yeah,
it would be the greatest Cinderella story ever. The last time a team came back from a 3-0 deficit was 1942.
It was the Leafs, actually.
The Leafs against the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, that's right. And like, man, like if anyone's doubted them, it's like everyone's doubted them, and they played so great.
Yeah, everybody doubted them. Like even I've
doubted them at times this year.
3-0. They went down 3-0. I've seen the comment. They were saying their run is a fluke.
Bro, like I was seeing fans of like people that call themselves fans of this team on like fucking Twitter and other apps that are like, oh, it's done. I'm done watching this series. After game 2, I'm like,
what's just going to give up on the team like that? And that's the energy that goes around the team that makes it hard for, like, I'm a big believer in that how the fan base is supporting you is also going to determine how well you're doing. If there's, like, when the Raptors won that championship, there was just this universal belief all across Canada that it was going to happen. There was no, oh, we're going against the Warriors. Oh, Klay Thompson and Steph are so great. Oh, KD is back. It was just constantly, yeah, whatever, we're going to beat them. Yeah, whatever, we're going to beat them. For Montreal fans to be doing that.
And even other NHL
fucking
fans.
Toxic.
Right? It is,
so fucking toxic, dude. I fuck, man. Like, I hate this fan base sometimes. Like, there's times in this year where, like, I look at this, like, after, like, a bad loss or a stretch of games and they're playing bad, and like the community is just so toxic. I'm like, I don't even want to like do this anymore. Like I was like considering deactivating my Twitter account. Like,
oh wow,
this is like fucking bullshit. Yeah, I'm like, fuck this. Like, I'm not saying like it's like, and the worst part is like people already were like, oh, you're crazy for thinking they're gonna come back, and it's like, what's wrong with being positive?
Just this.
Yeah, man.
Like, what's wrong with being positive?
On Instagram, I've been seeing that it was a boring series. There's one comment saying,
yeah,
Montreal isn't good.
Another boring series I could agree with.
I guess, yeah. I don't know.
It hasn't been as great as, you know.
Another high scoring game 3.
Another comment. Montreal didn't deserve to be here in the first place.
They proved themselves.
Deserve to be there, then they wouldn't be there. I can never agree with those kind of comments.
I know. It's like they wouldn't be there if they didn't deserve to be there.
They're a fluke. Well, then Tampa must have been a fluke too, because those are the two teams meeting in the finals. So.
You know what's even funnier? I was like going back and forth with some Leaf fans on the Tweetar, and they're like, "Oh, like the Habs are a fraud team." I was like, "Oh, so the Leafs must be a fraud team too, going by your logic, because they lost to a fraud team. So technically,
we're the number 1 seed of the division."
Yeah, but technically, your team is a fraud team for losing to a fraud team. Isn't that
right? And that's like a number 1 seed lost to the 4 seed Canadians.
Yeah.
Like,
And everyone's
comments
like-
it's
from you
like
guys?
Canadians have no business making it out of this series. Toronto's gonna slap them. Toronto gets damn near close by winning 3 in a row, or not 3 in a row. It was like 1-1 and then 2 in a row or whatever it was, right? I think.
Yeah.
Remember now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
then
was
it went shit.
yeah. 1-0. The Habs won the first game, and then Toronto won 3.
And they won. They did win 3 straight.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Then the Habs won
But-
3 straight.
Right. So it's like, they were the grittier team, and you and I had this conversation watching them in that series. It was like they all started to come together. There was just too much
Yeah.
disarray throughout the season, injuries up and down, like ideas of what was going on, people thinking Carey Price is washed up,
Yeah.
and
Can I
then
do one more comment for you guys?
yeah, go
Yeah.
for
Go
it.
ahead.
Here's another one. Has fans finally realized that their whole playoff run is a fluke?
Like honestly, like bro, what the fuck? Like to that person, whoever you are, what the fuck is your team doing right now? That's what I
Right.
want to know.
Yo,
My
here's
team's
the
sitting at
Instagram
home.
handle.
It's all, bro. It's all these stupid Leaf fans. Like, I don't mean to like alienate a fan base, but like, dude, Leaf fans are, especially on Twitter, are
They're
some of the
becoming
dumbest
Philadelphia
people.
fans. They are
They're
becoming
they're
Philadelphia
stupid.
fans.
I
Which
think
is
Montreal
crazy.
fans treat
Yeah.
their players bad. Sorry, I just wanted to say something quick.
Yeah,
But
dude.
like, fuck, man, I thought Hab fans treat their players like shit. I remember seeing like a comment section on like one of Mitch Marner's Instagram posts, and it was just Leaf fans like maligning him for not playing well, and I'm like, wow, like that's just like that's just awful. Like, I mean, you
As
can like
though he owes
criticize
something to them.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you can criticize, but like when you're like literally going in a post on an Instagram post that's like a fucking 2 months old just to rip on the guy, like
Right?
you
And
got
it's-
better things to do.
And it's his personal profile account. It's not like you're going on the Leafs account or NHL and being like, Mitch Marner's,
Yeah.
da, da, da. You're going at the guy. And it's like half the time too, I've seen it, and this one is the one that frustrates me, is like watching it with the athletes where they'll have that idiot. And I stress idiot, and people can take that however the fuck they want. Stress idiots
Oh,
that
you're
go
good,
on
you're
and they'll
good
be
about
like,
it.
yeah, you're fucking garbage, da da da. The athlete will respond,
I love when they clap back.
right? But then that idiot will turn around. Oh, I'm just ripping on you. You're one of my favorites. Da 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 da.
Yeah, they
So
turn
you
into a
did this for
pussy.
attention. You did this so that they could talk to you. Really, was that the fucking goal of this?
I know.
You could have just DM'd them and say, "Hi, you're my favorite player." You know what I mean? Not like go and try to lambaste them and cut them up on a post, and then you get
I know.
made to look stupid, and then you're all like, "Oh, I like you."
Yeah, I
Alright,
hate
here's
the internet.
Here's the final message I'm gonna read.
All right, go
All
for it.
right, go for it.
That extra 18 mil sure came in handy. Good job, Batman.
You know what? Like, because Tampa Bay is like $17 million over the cap.
Yep.
Like, how I feel about it is like, hey, I was talking to my dad about this during game 3.
Mhm.
And like, it is super sus how like Kucherov is magically like he's out for the year, which is fine. He had surgery, like it was on his knee or something. That's fine. But how is he already magically ready for game 1 of the playoffs? Stamkos missed the last month of the season with an injury, and then he's just magically ready for game 1 of the fucking game, the first round. It makes you think, like, were they like telling them, hey, just take a couple months off? We need to kind of get the cap situation sorted out, and just again, because again, the playoffs, the cap doesn't matter, right?
Yep.
So, but that's
And
the thing, right? They're following the rules because
And
there's
they're
no
working
salary
with
cap.
loopholes, working within the loopholes
Yeah,
on top of it.
exactly. That's what I was about to
Right?
say. They're just there's little loopholes in those kind of like in those
And that's
like rules or
like,
laws you want to say.
all teams are always trying to find those ways to like maximize return with less effort. You know what I
Exactly that. Yeah. You know what? Like, and again, I'm obviously a Habs fan, and like
Obviously,
honestly,
just
they're
became
not-
a Habs fan.
they're not breaking any rules. I see you have fans bitching all over the internet. It's like they're not breaking any rules. Like, stop fucking
Yeah.
crying.
I
Like they're
heard
not. Like they're literally
heard-
not.
I heard a really good conversation on Fan today. I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about it's almost like the idea how some of the rules still haven't moved with the time of the game. So things like the cross checking, which you're seeing a lot of in this series right now. And cross-checking should just like out and out be a penalty because it's the nature of the hit, right? So it was a comment basically towards the fact that this is what's happening where Tampa is doing this a lot to Montreal right now. You're seeing a lot of like cross checks and like nothing's getting called, like things are just getting swept under the rug.
No consistency.
Right? No consistency in the finals, which for me, it should be, if we're going to hold everyone accountable to the rules right now, it should be every rule, every game. We're not going to pick and choose. Today we're going to focus on this.
Yeah, that's
today we're going to focus on this.
That's the problem. Like,
I know I said this is the final comment, but
you want to do one more, Jacob?
One more, buddy. Shoot.
This one is interesting.
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
The series is over. Montreal's in the basement, and they have no business even sharing the same ice as Tampa.
So they're not professional athletes, according to this person.
Yeah, I don't know. People are fucking. People, I'm telling you, like, people are such pussies on the internet. Like, you know, I like to talk some shit on Twitter sometimes to certain people, like here and there. But honestly, if I saw them in public, I'd be like, dude, you're fucking stupid. Like, you're an idiot. I would not be scared. And like, I know people are gonna be like, oh yeah, that's what you say. But like maybe 5 years ago, I would have been a pussy. But like now, like some of these Montreal reporters that I can't stand, like fucking Tony Marinaro and Connor McKenna, and like, well, I call him Connor McCuckold, but like, yo, if I literally saw him in the streets, I'd be like, dude, you are fucking stupid. Like, you should stay away from Twitter. Like, you are an idiot. Like, you're yeah.
Intense, eh?
And Marinaro, he's just such a like anti-Habs. Like, his narrative is always so negative and like always shits on Carey Price. I'd be like, dude, I want to see you fucking strap the pads on and go in net. You probably couldn't even put your skates on because your fucking belly's out to here. Probably would be sweating just putting your fucking skates on, you bum. I tell him, dude, you're an idiot.
It's things are sensationalism now.
Yeah. Even Damian Cox. I went at it with Damian Cox a few months ago.
I remember that.
Yeah. I was like, dude, you're shit at your job. Like, you're a fucking idiot. There's a reason why you're not on TV anymore. You fucking bald ass. Fuck you.
Can I say
just got
so offended.
Wow.
Go ahead.
So basically, those comments I read were from Sportsnet's like Instagram post.
Yeah.
That was 2 days ago when Tampa took Game 3.
Yeah, of course you're gonna get a lot of those comments after the game.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for reading mean comments.
Yeah, mean tweets or mean comments on Instagram.
But before we move to the next thing.
Yes.
Do you think, and just not as a hope, do you think Montreal can do it?
Again, it's
Tampa Bay, but I'm going to say one game at a time, but I really don't know.
Personally, again, I've had my whole extreme optimism throughout the whole playoffs, and I even said they were going to come back and beat Toronto after they came down 3-1.
Yeah, I heard.
And I put out that tweet. And I said
right now
they're just recreating history, like when Dominic Moore scored that Game 7 goal against the Capitals, and they were down 3-1. They played awful in games 3 and 4, and I'm like, guys, they're just repeating history. It's gonna happen. Just fucking chill. The Leafs will choke, just like the Capitals at the time, choke artists. So like, just sit back and watch the show. And look what they did, right? So I think they could do it, but they gotta play desperation. They gotta cut out the mistakes, because Tampa Bay's just taking advantage of the mistakes they're making. I don't know if you guys saw in the last game, like there was like 2 or 3 goals like that could have easily been prevented because they're just sloppy. They're just being sloppy on the ice.
They're in their heads right now.
Yeah.
They're down 2 games to 0, and like you have that dialogue that you don't belong. You're a lucky team to have gotten there. Just everything.
I think Carey Price is running out of gas.
I don't think so. He never does.
I think so.
I never doubt Carey Price, because I doubted him a couple of times at this time, like this season during the regular season. He wasn't good, but you know what? Like, I'm happy he proved us all wrong. I mean, the playoffs, he's just a completely different guy, completely different goalie. And honestly, like, I didn't start saying he was shit. I was just kind of concerned about like struggles, and like in his regular season stats.
And he is older. He's on the tail end of his career right now. It's just
he's gonna be 34, man. He's getting older, and he's injuries have piled up, and that's why I was just showing concern. I wasn't saying that he was garbage. Like, there's people literally saying that he was shit. I was like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, I'm not saying he's shit. It's just it's concerning.
Still an elite goalie.
And yeah, like his regular season numbers the last maybe 3 years haven't been like Carey Price like numbers, right? But
they've had such an
shows up
merry-go-round of players in the last 3 years on top of it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah.
From trying to get Weber over there and get rid of Subban, which I think that was one of the biggest, like the whole defense changed by getting Weber.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it was a completely different dynamic at that point.
It was just, man, looking at it 5 years later, actually, we can kind of touch up on it. It's been 5 years since that trade. And obviously Montreal has won that trade by default because Subban's not with Nashville anymore. Weber is obviously the captain. Yeah, honestly, like, again, back then I was so like on the other side, right? I was like, no, you can't trade Subban. But like Weber's still okay. He's looked good in the playoffs. Regular season, he looked like, I can tell he looked kind of bad. But Subban has declined a lot too since that trade. The first maybe couple of years after that trade, he was good. And then it's just been a downward spiral since. And I still love PK. I love the guy to death. Like, he's awesome, man. Like, he's just so good for the game. And like,
he has too many distractions now between his wife, between
he's not with her anymore.
Like his brands. He's not with Vaughn anymore.
Yeah, he's not with Vaughn anymore. Yeah, they split up before the new year. Yeah, I can see by his Instagram too. Again, I love PK, and I would love to have him on the show, like, or on our new show.
And I think he stopped his podcast as well.
Yeah, he's just, he's trying to build his celebrity status after he's done with hockey, which I get it. You got to do that too.
You got to think of life after the game a lot of times.
Exactly, I get it, and I respect that. Right, a lot of people are criticizing him for it, but it's like, you know what? Yeah, you got to focus on the game, but like, he still loves hockey. You can tell he enjoys going to the rink every day, and he loves what he does. So even though he's kind of, since he's moved to American teams, he's kind of showed more of like his personality celebrity status, but
it's true.
That's okay. It comes with it, right?
So,
we need guys like that. Yeah,
as a long-time Habs fan, what do you think they could change for Game 4?
What can they change for Game 4? I mean, personally, they've been out shooting them, I think, like 2 out of the 3 games, I think, if I'm correct. Just limit the mistakes, and just the way they were playing in the Toronto series after Game 5 is just keep the play simple. Don't try to do too much. Stay out of the box, especially because Tampa's power play is scary. When you got Stamkos and Kucherov on both off wings, waiting for that one-timer, and you got the triangle. You got Hedman, Stamkos, Kucherov. It's scary. So stay out of the box.
Did you see that stat on Hedman?
No, what was it?
The goals. Oh my God! It was like the first person to score in 12 straight games in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think I did see that actually. Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, what the hell? A defenseman of all things too. I was like, that is such a dangerous defenseman.
He's spectacular.
They're a strong team, and they're basically basically like for Greek mythology, for everybody who knows Greek mythology, they're basically like a 3-headed monster. If you cut one head off, another one broke.
Yeah, and they have so much depth, and they have it's crazy how, like, with that team, they were kind of labeled as the choker for years with, and then the one good thing they did was that they didn't just kind of like overreact and rebuild. They kind of kept the same guys, maybe got rid of some of the core, like, not the core, sorry, the bottom 6 guys, kept maybe the role players come and go, but you kept the same core: Palat, Kucherov, Stamkos, Hedman, Vasilevsky's still there. You kept that same core of guys. You just learn more every year about each other, and hey, they won a cup, and they're one game win away from winning another. So,
and back-to-back, first team since Pittsburgh. And that's, what, when we talked about this last year, and like, as much as I mentioned, like, you did call for Montreal as a possibility to be there and possibility to win, we were both very headstrong that we weren't sure anyone could beat Tampa again.
Yeah.
At the same time too.
Honestly,
how dangerous they were.
Yeah, seriously, man. It's again, I do respect the Lightning. They're just a great team all in out, and it's just
It's tough when it's your team against them.
yeah, I know. And I like Tampa too as a team. Like I do like Tampa. I was going for them last year
Same.
in the Cup final, and like I have nothing against them as a team, and I respect them with everything. Fuck, they're so good though.
Tampa's scary.
Yeah, they
like
are.
I said,
still have like a feeling in the air though with like Montreal.
I'm still haven't given up.
They are a three-headed monster. If you cut one off, another one grows. If you cut another one off, another one grows. The only way you can stop them is try getting Medusa's head.
Or stab them in the dick.
Yeah, there you go. Just shoot the puck at Vasilevsky's balls and just cocking balls and just hopefully he goes down. That's what they should do in Game 4.
There you go, man. They got
Weber
they got
just tee up at his
70s.
For everybody that doesn't know Greek mythology, then there's your Greek mythology lesson for you guys.
I'm telling you that. Hey, that's what they gotta do. Tee up on Weber. Tee up on him. Just kidding. I wouldn't want to wish injury on a guy.
Right, no,
guys. I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah,
but it's just a joke. They're gonna be the sensitive snowflakes and be like, "Oh, what the hell, man? Fucking over it. Get over it, you fucking."
But yeah.
Fucking words offend you. Please get over it.
Oh, man.
I hate people like that. Anyways, let's move on to another topic here. We'll go to the Jays. Have some so Guerrero, Simeon, and Tio Hernandez are starters for the All-Star team. And Bo Bichette was added today.
Nice.
So they got 4 players on the All-Star team, man. That's just that's so good, man. Yeah, like I was talking to a buddy of mine. Sorry, I want to say one thing.
Yeah, you do your thing. Don't worry.
I was talking to a buddy of mine because Chris Bryant's a free agent this offseason. How would you feel if they let Simeon walk and try and make a pitch for Chris Bryant?
I think you can get Chris Bryant, not lose Simeon, and move an outfielder because we have an influx of outfielders. We also, I don't know, because we got to remember too, we have Austin Martin still down in the minors, and he is developing very well. So
not only that, we got the cash from the December trade as well.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think odd man out if I would do it. I'll probably get flack for this, but Grichuk.
Really? You think
Grichuk? Really?
Randall, I think only because the value that you can get by giving Grichuk away as well.
Is that a hot take?
Might be. It might be.
I think.
But like that, because that's a contract possibly to move so that you can get a Chris Bryant as well.
It's true. I personally think though that if they're gonna trade one of those guys, it's gonna be Gurriel.
That one I get tough on that one because like I'm loving watching him develop right now. I think the kid has a lot of potential, and I think he's a project you don't give up on right now. But that being said, management, if they have to make a big call and they have to look at those 2 contracts, it might be a Gurriel. It might be.
I think so because Grichuk's bat is just too good right now. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. Gurriel is still a good hitter, but man, just Grichuk's been really taken off the last couple of seasons. Since he got that contract extension, he's really taken off. I would not want to let go of a guy like that.
Do you guys think their bullpen like improve after the December trade?
I think so.
Not one guy. They need more.
I think the problem is still the catchers because the way I see it right now is how do you have a whole bullpen doing that bad? There's no way 7, 8 guys are consistently bad every time they go out. Something's happening in the game calling behind the plate. I've always felt Danny and Reese were a little bit behind in that. Like as the game progresses, they don't always make the best decisions. Like Hyunjin Ryu is an under 3 ERA pitcher for his career. And he's been getting lit up in games.
Yeah, I know.
The amount of home runs, like this, he's not the type of pitcher to have that happen.
I can see after his last start.
Yeah,
right?
he didn't play good the other day. I think it was the other day.
It's weird watching him because it seems to be like this trend sometimes with pitchers when they come to Toronto, where they can be great and then all of a sudden something happens when they're here. Like even though they'll be still on that cusp of greatness, you don't see them hit that upper echelon. But,
I.e., for example, R.A. Dickey.
Oh, let's not bring up that trade.
I have a gripe with that one because I never liked that trade.
I hated that. I hate that
Mets,
2 years later.
The Mets are
controversy.
The Mets are my favorite National League team. So when I saw that trade go down, all I could think is you're giving up probably the best prospect right now.
And look where he is
for
right now.
a fucking late 30-year-old knuckleballer in a fucking home run hitting stadium.
I know.
Like, are you fucking retarded? So it was like,
fucking Alex Anthopoulos was another beauty by him.
Right.
That fucking idiot.
Like, I'll give it to him. The last good thing he did was like Donaldson,
signing
Edwin, Guerrero. That was another big one too. Like, I think part of signing even Vlad Sr. was a decent move because I think that led to us getting Vlad
Jr. Yeah,
it created that relationship in the organization. I would have loved to see him play even just like a couple games, but so be it that he did. Vladdy is just crazy, but I think they need to bring someone in that can help Reese and Danny because they have the ability to get there. That's the other part. It's not like it's JP Arencibia where the guy is just incompetent behind the plate.
Yeah, like, he wasn't a great game caller.
All he wanted to do was hit home runs, and like the effort was with his offense and not with the defense. I noticed like his pop time wasn't the greatest. People could steal on him, no problem. Reese and Danny need a little bit of work. I know they're looking at moving Alejandro Kirk.
Moving him, like trading him? Really?
Talk about that.
Wow. Yeah, you can get some decent value
from for the bullpen to make a bullpen move. Trade off Kirk because you have an influx of catchers right now, and then bring in like, a pitcher.
Although Reese is playing good right now behind the plate. I've seen
starting to step up. I think that's
good.
You're seeing the change of the guard because remember I said they should be based on paper. They should be like 12, 13 games over 500, and now they're going on this little tear. So I'd like to see if they can get themselves to that. Like, I think 11 is the magic number right now for them. Get 11 games over 500. You're closing that ground on Tampa. Dude, they got 4, including last night's win. Last night, right? They have gotten 5 games back on Tampa in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right. So that's huge because that means you have to win 5 and they have to lose 5.
Yeah, that's true. That's hard, but
do that, right? So
it's a tough situation for them right now. I mean, personally, one thing I was saying to my brother earlier about this team too is that it's not like the 15-16 Jays where they were in a little bit of a small window to win because the core was old and a lot of the guys were well into their 30s. This team is young and it's built for long-term success. So again, even if they miss the playoffs this year, it's not too discouraging, but at the same time, as a fan, and obviously the guys too, they want to make the playoffs and start contending because they've been rebuilding since 2017, right?
Yeah.
Since the game 5 of the fucking ALCS against Cleveland, they've been rebuilding. And I knew after that moment when I think it was Santana that caught that foul ball to end Jay's season that year, I was like, yep, that's it. That was their window. And it's gone.
You could feel it in that moment. Like that was heart-wrenching.
It was.
Because it had been so long since we even got that close.
Yeah.
Like I still remember 98 very, very vividly. With Clemens and Henkin, Canseco, Delgado, Sean Green, Alex Gonzalez. Like I could list the team for you.
Yeah.
But just that feeling in 98 where we were in the wild card spot. And the last 3 weeks, we just watched it little by little, 5 games back, 6 games back, 7, and then catch back up to 3 games back, 2 games back, and then the last week, it was just like lose.
Yeah, it's
So and then
man.
right, so then 2015 rolls around, and it was like, holy shit, we're in the playoffs. Oh my God, we're in the pennant race now. 2016 we go back. I was happy that we made the play. Like I love the fact that they opened it up last year the way they did, because that was the only way Toronto was making it.
Yeah.
But it gave it. I think
still
that
can't
was.
believe we beat Texas in both years.
Oh man, I was happy about that 2015-16.
Fucking right,
But
man.
yeah, no, this team is built for the long run right now, man.
Yeah,
Like
it's good.
Shapiro and Atkins, like a lot of people were on them, but I saw what they did.
I scouted them like at the beginning of like their tenure, but
I was critical of them too at the beginning, and then I started to see what their whole objective was of how to build this team.
Yep, they wanted to do it right.
Yeah, they did it the right way, right? Instead of just trading and like again trying to win now, because Anthopoulos, like again, all due respect to him, but he was a shitty GM, and I will always stand by that statement.
To be honest,
fuck the dog.
Kyle Dubas trying to act like Anthopoulos.
Oh God, that's a whole other.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Go ahead.
Anthopoulos just fucked the dog for like most of his years in Toronto. He just didn't build a good team.
Dude, they're not willing to go to 5-year contracts. Like we finally did it with George Springer. Oh, that's another reason why I say like Grichuk would be a possibility.
Yeah, because Springer could play in center field,
and we have Springer.
Yeah, that's true, man.
That was the real point. But
yeah, that's true.
Like we gave Springer that contract. Now things are going to change in Toronto. People are going to want to come to Toronto because now they see they're willing to pay the money. They're willing to front
2 years in a row, big splashes.
Front load contracts too. So these aren't end loaded what like Anthopoulos would do, where it was like, yeah, we'll give you a little bit up front at first and then give you a hefty amount at the end, but it's based on performance and but you will never get more than 4 years. How are you going to want to commit to a team up north?
I know, in Toronto, for fuck's sakes, when the rest of the league's in the U.S.
Right? Like your tax brackets are different. Like
completely.
Like
completely, especially with the U.S.
Yeah, that's why I love like Dwayne Casey and like Masai started the whole culture change in the Raptors organization. Like people didn't want to freaking come to Toronto, and all of a sudden Kawhi comes for a year. You're getting players with eyes on Toronto now, where like there's possibilities that you could see other big stars in the future coming here.
Oh, absolutely.
Personally, I think Toronto would be smart to go after a guy like Andrew Wiggins for their team. I also think there's a center hitting the free agent market. Why can't I remember the name right now?
Not Drummond, right?
Not Drummond. It was a younger player, and I think he would be one of the best fits in Toronto as a center piece to play alongside like Siakam, help like Chris Boucher develop. So yeah, no. Fuck, I wish I could remember right now. I was just thinking about this yesterday too.
Oh, true.
All good. What happened to the TFC and with Bill Manning and Tim Betichenko? They went to the finals like consistently.
Yeah. Well, was it 2 years in a row they were in the cup final?
And they won the 1 year, 2017. They won. You know, I realized, like, I look at their record. They only have 5 points this year, and they're just shit. So makes sense why they let him go. Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go more into soccer. We're gonna go talk about the Euro Cup. Italy, another big W on Friday.
And
England with.
Can I say?
With England.
Go for it. Iceland in the tournament. We got
Denmark.
Iceland in the tournament.
Yeah, we got the big upset team was Denmark, man. What a team.
Can't believe that. God, that is still shocking to me.
They have a good team though. They have one of those teams that's just low key, like really good. Just you don't really hear much about, but
and it's all because of Christian Eriksen like situation as well.
Yeah.
They're basically doing it for.
I think that was a rallying point for sure. I think the final is going to be Italy and England. And I can't fucking wait for that if that happens.
If that happens.
Honestly, England has an easy
it's
way.
It's almost guaranteed at this point that I don't know why. Probably shouldn't say that, but I think it's almost guaranteed at this point. It's going to be Italy and England.
Yeah, Spain hasn't been that good, to be honest. I'm not doubting
They've
them,
been
but
getting by,
they've
is
been
what I've
squeaking
seen,
by.
right? And then Denmark, I think it's a Cinderella story coming to an end right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we see.
But will it come home for England? Will it come home for England?
Oh man, I do not want to see England win the World Cup. I see the Euro Cup. Fuck, dude.
You guys are gonna hate me for saying this, but I think
that's okay.
I think they might, only because this has been the dialogue for the last year. Is England is the team. England, and everyone has been like, no, England, no way England even makes to the round of 16. Da, 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 da. And so many analysts, soccer analysts, have been saying England is probably the team to beat.
Really?
And then obviously you had like some heads where they're like, no, France and Portugal, like Portugal defending champions. France is a powerhouse of a team. They're still ranked number 1 in the world, I think. But like I can't remember the name of the guy anymore. But he's like, I'm telling you right now, England's going to be in the finals.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something to. Yeah, shit.
That's something to look for.
They're not a bad team though. They have they actually do. They've had good teams for years. Like Harry Kane is just unreal. Raheem Sterling. Yeah, dude.
They got
filled
a great
with talent.
young core for the first time in a long time, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like they remind me of Italy a few years back.
Yeah, in 2016 Euro.
Because like Italy kind of was on that cusp. They still had a couple of the older guys, but they had that young core trying to figure it out coming in.
Yeah, now this year they have like a whole young team. There's still a couple of vets like Bonucci and Chiellini. But the most part it's just young players, and they're, man. Did you see that goal by Insigne the other day?
No, I didn't end up seeing it.
Oh, dude. That guy is gonna be he's already unreal, but man, oh man, he's a talent. He's a talent, that guy. Holy fuck. From it looked like it was at least 30 yards out, and he just blasted the ball in the top corner. I was like, oh, unreal shit, dude. I was like, fuck. Fucking amazing, man. I think I might have wet my pants after that goal.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. I was like
going to bed.
Yeah, a little wet dream before, fucking in the middle of the afternoon. There you go.
It's afternoon delight.
Wet the bed, didn't you?
I love it. Afternoon delights. Yes. Fucking Anchorman.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yes. Oh my god, that's great.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that one.
Oh, that's great, dude. I love it. I love that movie.
Oh god.
Fucking Sex Panther. It works 60% of the time, 100% of the
every time.
Oh, dude, that movie's so good. I want to rewatch it now, actually. Oh,
Will
dude, it's one of the best.
like an absolute gem. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he's a treasure. That guy, I love him.
And now he's owning a soccer team.
Which team does he own?
I think it's
one out
LAFC,
in Europe.
I think.
Is it LAFC?
Yeah, I think it's LAFC.
Oh shit! Let's look this up.
I didn't even realize that. I know there was a whole bunch of buyers, like a different people included in getting the team.
Yeah, Fuck, that's crazy.
No,
it's not LAFC.
When I saw that, I didn't even know Will Ferrell was a soccer fan.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
He's a huge sports fan. My favorite thing to watch of him still is when he went and played. How many games was it he went in? And he
he did charity games and shit.
Well, no. So MLB during spring training.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
And he went out and played one position for maybe an inning.
Yeah, he was a pitcher, I think.
For every game that was on.
Oh.
So he was at one game, then he was first base. Another game he was a pitcher. Another game he was outfield. Another game.
I think another game he was a coach, I think, as well.
Yeah, I think he was first base or third base coach. Did he umpire?
He might have. Yeah, I think he did it all. He's an interesting guy. I think he actually is. Yeah, I love him too, man. His movies are great. I think he actually does own I don't know if he owns the full percentage of the team, but he owns
he doesn't a majority shareholder of the team, basically.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I just looked it up, and there was an article from last year, and obviously the players love him. Obviously, fuck, Will Ferrell's your boss. Fuck, that'd be amazing.
Yo,
imagine
Will
fucking
Ferrell's
him.
My boss, I would
Imagine him going to your fucking dressing room and giving you like Jackie Moon like fucking pregame fucking
ass slaps.
Yeah, and shit like that, and like fucking speeches and shit. Oh my god, dude.
God.
Come on. Just slapping everybody's ass for no fucking reason.
I know, right? What's that movie called again? With the Semi-Pro. Yeah,
Semi-Pro.
That movie is so good. That's one of my favorites.
One of my favorite roles for him still, and it wasn't even one of his main roles. Wedding Crashers. Ma!
Our clip and it's free.
Cut the veil off.
Chaz, where he goes to the funerals and hooks up with like the fucking grieving.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Telling you.
I'm telling you, bro.
Freeze rolls? Oh my god.
Dude, that movie was so funny because fucking Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson were in it too. And even Vince Vaughn was in it. He's like, man, like Chaz is right. Like he was talking about those single girls at the wedding or whatever. He's like, oh man, he's like, you guys should hook up girls at the fucking weddings, man. They're horny as shit. I'm like, oh my god. And he's like, man, whatever Chaz is doing is working. Man, he's cleaning up. So funny. So funny.
That's good shit, man.
Yeah, Wedding Crashers is another that's
Wedding
a song.
Crashers,
list. Old School is a great one. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy.
Old School's
It's like breaking down. I love when he goes, "We're going drinking." Fucking, oh my god.
Good. He's one of the best, though. I'm telling you, he's one of the best comedy actors. I mean, man, everything. Oh, you can't forget Step Brothers, though.
Oh, Step Brothers, hand down. One of the that and Anchorman, I think, like hand in hand, top two things ever.
I think Semi-Pro is definitely up there too. Like
that's
top 3.
There, yeah.
Santa Claus.
Woody Harrelson.
That wasn't too bad, actually.
Yeah.
That one I liked. There's another one where it was like kind of like it was my ex-girlfriend is a superhero or something with Uma Thurman.
Oh, I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, very different role. It was oh wait, no, I'm wrong. That might have been someone else. Or no, that might have been him. But then he also did Bewitched.
Yeah.
He's done some weird things.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything. I like that about him.
Yeah, he's one to try it.
Adrian,
I love. Sorry, go ahead, Jacob.
Are you ready for your wrestling lesson yet? Not yet.
I want to talk about one more thing actually before we go into that. We're going deep, and we got to show you that Quinn's got a little surprise for the viewers when we go into our wrestling lesson. But yeah, so this was kind of huge news, and like I mean, this is just a long time coming. But excuse me.
There it is. Finally,
burp counter.
There's I think I've had like at least 3.
Oh, we were so caught up we didn't even notice.
Yeah, I just snuck those in there.
Right, you gotta throw a burp counter. Like every time.
All right, that's definitely for the next fucking thing for sure.
Yeah,
the new show for sure, for sure.
Adrian put burp counter like somewhere around like right here.
Oh fuck, my stomach hurts.
Right
we're gonna get that count. That one is that the rule with that is there needs to be at least one per show.
Okay, I can definitely pull through with that for sure. Hey. Even if it's my farts or Murphy's farts, it counts.
Oh, so. Even better if it's Murphy. Get Murphy on the mic too when it happens. Yo, dogs farts, bro. For small little animals, it's like where is that smell coming from? First off, and how is that produced out of your little body?
I know, like bro. And the worst thing is with his, like when he farts, they all smell the same. Like it's brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have like light flowery smart.
No, not at all.
There's no like decent winter fart. Like this is just warm summer, nasty egg smelling farts all the time.
Oh, dude, he fucking man. There's sometimes like where I'll be we'll be sleeping. I'll have him on my bed, and like I'll be trying to sleep, and all I'll hear is
no.
And I'm like, no. I wake up like like that meme where it's like the Squidward where it goes like that with the eyes. Yeah, I just go like that. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is your problem? I just, oh man, yeah.
Good thing I don't have a dog. Good thing.
Dogs are great, but yeah, they fucking fart so much and it's gross. But, yeah, we're gonna talk about the NCAA. I mean, this is a long time coming. I think we were all kind of waiting for this. It's just like fucking consumers. Just like about time they're allowed to have sponsors and stuff. Like, man, like they're just like it's just crazy. Like I understand people are saying like they're in school, but at the same time it's like if they're profitable for like a company or an agency or
right,
just they can make money like
and
for
it's not right
themselves
that
and
they don't.
companies, right?
It's not right that they don't, and the coaches are making like $4, $5, $6 million a year.
Yeah, for real.
It's like,
And
okay,
especially with the new video game coming out as well.
yeah, that was one of the biggest argument points on it too. Was like every time an NCAA football game would get released, you'd have the players that are like they couldn't use names, remember? So like you would see like just number 2 on Notre Dame, number 5,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
number 12 on Michigan. You know who the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's an
Tom
only
Brady.
one TB12, like
That's right, buddy.
right? So it's like, but their likeness can't get used, so but like the organization is making money off of them and their identities at the same time too. So it's like and the kicker is like if they take money from sponsors and they take money from these things, they would be expelled from school, they would lose their scholarships, like
yeah, I know.
their whole life. Like you were basically having them live this life on teetering on an edge constantly of like, yeah, there's things you can do, but the second you cross that line, your livelihood is gone.
Yeah, and like the thing that's crazy about I remember Richard Sherman was talking about like years ago. He was asked about how it was like being a student athlete, and he's like, "Man, it was tough." Like there was like one time he explained how like he was in like overdraft, like negative like $50 or something like that, and had to go to class, and it's like you got practice at the end of the day, and you're like out of energy, and you're broken.
Can't feed yourself.
Can't feed yourself, and basically it's not easy.
Nope.
And like I mean, geez, if these guys are like making names for themselves in college, like they should be allowed to make money. Like fuck,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man,
Hell
fuck.
yeah, man. I'm glad too because it'll be football, it'll be basketball, like anybody.
Baseball, hockey, any sport. Yeah, this is great. I mean, for both men and women, it's great. Like
hell
for
yeah,
both
man.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah, NCAA needs something to fix their image right now too, because after that whole debacle with the weight rooms and everything for the men and the women a couple months back.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me
I
that.
remember
That's
that one.
fucked
Yeah,
up, man.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Honestly, I think they're doing it. They did this all on purpose to kind of like virtue signal and be like, "Oh yeah, we're not as bad as everyone seems that we are." Right?
Like
they kind of go with like this whole
virtuing.
Yeah, the fucking virtue signaling bullshit. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're actually a good organization. We care about our athletes." No, you're just doing it because the public pressured you, which is fine. Yeah. Hey, sometimes you know what? Like I talk about this whole like people complaining about shit. Sometimes though, like you gotta like raise awareness towards things like this, where these kids for years have been legitimately getting ripped off, and these schools are clocking in on their dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So there's that when you're being legitimately fucking ripped off. Hell yeah, go off with that energy. I agree with it, man. Like, but fuck, like these kids are like making money for you, and you're not even paying them for it. Like all they're getting is fucking screen exposure on a TV.
It's true.
Right? So yeah, no, I thought that was really cool that they finally did that. Again, long time coming.
But yeah, we've been waiting for this.
That tasted good.
Sounded like it.
Tasted like dinner, man. Oh.
But yeah, we've been waiting for the NCAA for this.
I know, seriously. It's been like decades. Fuck, man. It's been decades since this is they've been trying to like get this going, but finally, fuck, you can.
They fought for a long time and finally went through. Thank God.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
All right.
So, all right, guys, let's go into our wrestling lesson.
So, yeah. Quinn, are we gonna keep this up for the new pod or what?
I'd like to
do it. Yeah. I mean, fuck yeah.
You're gonna talk all sports. Might as well talk because the
exactly.
people.
Well, technically, Adrian, WWE is kind of like the redheaded stepchild of sports and entertainment. So.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's funny. So Joe Rogan, who's been a big proponent of like wrestling is stupid.
Oh yeah, cause
Yeah, I know.
I've seen this Undertaker interview.
Yeah, he wants to immerse himself now and understand wrestling because he's like he now understands like every wrestler describes it as this. It's not fake, it's predetermined.
It's scripted, basically.
But like, so I just spent because I couldn't sleep last night.
Fuck.
I was on YouTube just like flipping through like there's this guy Hannibal for Great North Wrestling. He does like a whole bunch of interviews with a bunch of wrestlers, and he got to sit down with Dan Severn and Don Fry. They are two of the original Ultimate Fighting champions, UFC. They also have a background in pro wrestling. Don, not as much as Dan Severn. Dan Severn was known as the Beast, and he has the most, I think he has the most MMA wins of all time. It's like 125 or something like that. Like Taken, he has 125 wins in the sport of martial arts. There's only 4 people in the history of the sport that even have been in 100 matches.
Wow.
For fucking people. So he has this long tenured career in MMA. He was backup at the Olympics for the USA. He was a freestyle wrestler, a Greco-Roman wrestler, folk wrestler, like any type of wrestling, he has done it. He held like multiple records consecutive times, set NCAA records, state records. Like he is a decorated athlete. And he basically sat in this interview, and the way he describes it, and I've heard this from every fucking wrestler in every interview that they've ever been in, that
can I cut in?
Hold on. So, wrestling's not fake. It's predetermined. And he's had more injuries doing wrestling, winning his 1 championship belt, than all 3 of his UFC titles combined.
Wow.
Considered a more dangerous sport. He's like, because people have to think like you're body slamming somebody, you have to do it right, and you have to trust that they're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole other.
Basically, the wrestling mat, like the wrestling ring, people think it's like pillow, right? But it's not. It's basically.
Oh, I think it's hard as a rock. Yeah.
It's like a small inch
board.
It's like a board.
Ouch.
It's like a board, and then like a mat on top of it.
They have a half
dude.
They have a half-inch mat that sits on top of just solid wood. So that sound when you hear the dunk dunk off the mat, that's the wood in the mat, like bouncing.
Really?
Like, it's
crazy.
So that absorb in a way, but it's just stiff. So like when they hit the ground, like when you they say the 2 hardest things is to take a bump and to go off the ropes, because the ropes are steel iron like cables inside of them, and it hurts. Like you get winded every time you throw your back into them.
Yep.
And every time you go down for a bump, you hit the ground, you're gonna be winded. So it's like your body has to be able to absorb that over time. You have to absorb chair shots. Like someone like Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's hitting you with 80% of his power every time he punches you, and he was closed fist punching people. He might not hit you square in the jaw, but he's hitting you across your head, or he's hitting.
It's still gonna hurt. Fuck.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so there's been some nasty injuries.
He retired like at an early stage after a neck injury.
He had to. He had so many fusions in his neck that it was just at the point where doctors told him, like, you keep doing this, you're gonna die. Like,
scary.
That is the only next course of action for you. And he just got to that point he wasn't willing to take that risk anymore. So when he had the match with The Rock, that last match at WrestleMania, nobody knew, but that was his retirement match. He told nobody except for Vince and Dwayne.
Yeah, and that was it.
And when the Rock leans over to him, because there's this whole scene, you can go check it out on YouTube. They talk about this. So The Rock turns to him and he grabs him and he's like, "I love you. Thank you for everything." And it's
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically,
like,
they made a meme out of it.
Done for me. Yeah. It was really cool.
Yeah.
No, I love that shit.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm gonna start watching it more.
In every wrestling match, like it's basically like a miniature movie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's like a story, you know, like
Yeah, and you have to have like 15 running stories at one time, because if something happens where your main event gets injured, it's like the
yeah.
idea like your star player gets injured, you got to have something in place to make sure that you can still win. It's the same idea.
Oh, absolutely. It's the same kind of vibe, man, for sure. That's awesome though, man. Like I've seen like clips of like Brock Lesnar with Seth Rollins where like he snapped and like Brock got suspended by WWE.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So funny.
that's all good. Yeah, yeah. So they plan those storylines, but like
Yeah.
Brock is a big advocate for like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna make it look real. And at the end of the day, none of you could actually fucking beat me in a fight. So
I
Oh yeah,
remember
dude.
he actually
eat them for
knocked out
breakfast.
Randy Orton one time. He
Oh
looked
shit.
that they so the all the writers and everything, they said that like Brock went into business for himself because that was the story going around from the backstage.
Yeah.
Turns out that Randy Orton told, like, they had a conversation and told Brock to crack him with his fucking elbow, and he
Oh
ended up
Jesus.
splitting Randy Orton's head open. Like
Oh
legit,
fuck.
like there's blading, so you can tell when it's a blade cut. I can actually point out in matches when it's happening. Like I can see the moments leading up to someone blading themselves, because
Yeah.
I've watched the details for so long that like I'm at a point where it's like less a fan, more a critic now, because it's like I'm at a point where like I'm watching to understand what makes a great match, what makes a bad match, where chemistries are working together. But like this was a legit like gash on top of his head, and it
Yeah.
happened immediately
Fuck, dude.
after Lesnar's elbow caught him.
Fuck, that's brutal.
Yeah, so that's like,
That's brutal.
and that's the thing is like you have that happen a lot. Like these guys are just eating shit for the sake of eating shit, whereas like MMA, it's you're trying not to get hit while hurting somebody.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
true.
like hurt me, do it, come on, hit me. Okay, now I'm gonna hit you back. Like
Yeah, for sure, man. Oh, that's
and here's another thing.
fucking
What
crazy.
people don't pick up is they're basically talking to each other while the match is going on.
Oh yeah. They
Oh yeah.
The thing is, like, what was it? Was it one of the Hart brothers that died from that stunt?
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart.
So
that
one
was
thing I
not
think
planned
about
at all.
Yeah, one thing I think about though, because like obviously he died like while on like the WrestleMania. Wow, imagine if like Twitter existed back then. It would have blew up.
Dude. So funny enough, a lot of the video spiraling I was doing last night, like this was one of the talk-ups. So this is wild. Okay, so it's like we were meant to talk about this. So there's this whole thing that happened backstage. I watched an interview with Ken Shamrock. I watched one with Dan Severn and Don Fry. I watched like 2 or 3 more with other wrestlers, and it was just this consensus. So what happened that night? Everyone thought it was a work. They thought it was all fake and bullshit, and that it was just a rib, and Owen was going to get up, and none of it was real. And then when he got stretchered out, the locker room still didn't believe it. Fans in the crowd were laughing. Yeah, the live crowd laughing at the situation because they thought it was just a joke, because he had this comical character, the Blue Blazer, and what happened was he was on this
it was like a zip line kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like a zip line. So do you remember Shawn Michaels coming down on the zip line at WrestleMania from like the ceiling, and he like comes down?
Yeah.
That was one of the first ones. Sting in WCW.
Yeah, he
came down from after, just straight down, and then went straight back up on. So what he did is Vince hired the company that did that with Sting, and they put Owen. You can actually, on Dark Side of the Ring, the episode on Owen Hart, this explains all of this. But Owen was attached to the hook that was repelling him down, and it had a quick release lever on it. So the quick release lever, once you flip the lever, you drop, like it disconnects you. So they want the quick release, so it's just like a quick lick. He goes down. So the whole gimmick that they arranged was that he was going to go down, get stuck, kind of wiggle around in the air, release it, and then fall into the ring. Something happened like 30 feet above the ring where it just like he stopped moving.
Oh.
And I guess they say maybe or whatever in the situation, he accidentally the quick release lever, which there are many people that said this is one of the most unsafe things, and there were people telling Vince not to do it because something bad was going to happen. They just, with the way the situation worked out, it wasn't like a properly laid out stunt. They didn't take the right amount of time to do it. Owen started to say that he wasn't comfortable with it, and then they went ahead and did it. So it was this over the edge pay-per-view going into the summer. I still remember it because like I never watched a lot of the pay-per-views growing up unless it was SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, and Royal Rumble, because those are the big four. But I would go over to my grandfather's. He had the old Rogers box that was like the illegal box. Everyone called it the illegal box back in the day.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view free, right? And I remember this is one of those times where it was just like a regular in your house pay-per-view, but they stopped calling them in your house. So this was like one of the first ones. It was just over the edge. And the next morning I would like wake up and like go to check things, but like this time I didn't. And I remember I'm getting up for school and my dad, as I'm eating breakfast with like CP24, Bret Hart died. Bret Hart was my favorite wrestler. Bret Hart was just on television like, what? No. End up finding out it was fucking Owen. Look into it, and it was just like, yeah, he fucking fell from the rafters. So what happened was the quick release went off, his body just fell, and then Jerry Lawler explains this at a press conference, which was one of the videos I was watching. He falls, he hits the referee, so like his bottom half of his body hits the referee, and the top half of his body and his head hit the fucking. So that corner turnbuckle of the ring with the steel post and the steel iron cord that comes out and connects to the actual turnbuckle itself, his head came down on that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He was just lying there lifeless in the ring, like stiff, supposedly. Jerry Lawler said his arm reaching up like this, just staying there, reaching up.
That's fucking fucked.
He's like, I remember there's only one time in my life I saw this was when I was in Memphis wrestling and I watched another guy die in the ring.
And ever since that incident, his widow and WWE had.
Good.
Yeah.
They're still at odds. And Bret will never live it down. Like wrestlers are to the point where they criticize Bret because they're like, Bret made this about him and not about Owen, because like so many wrestlers, like Ric Flair, you can watch so many interviews. He's not a big fan of Bret Hart at all. Never has been. He thinks he's amazingly talented, just that his ego gets in the way. Like Bret blames Bill Goldberg still for ending his career because Goldberg accidentally caught him in the fucking head with a kick.
Oh,
I think it was either the kick. Yeah, I think it was
the kick. The kick. I remember watching it live on Nitro, and I was like, yo, that was fucked up. Like, because he goes up for the super kick, and Bret was like a perfectionist. That he could, like, one of his nicknames was the excellence of execution. One of the best workers in the ring. Even Shawn Michaels says it. Undertaker says it. Like, everyone thinks Bret is one of the most perfectly technical wrestlers that ever lived. The way he could make somebody look good was the way he like took a bump in the turnbuckle. Like, he was just excellent, man. Like, it was fucking crazy. But he that
kick.
The kick, like, imagine like Shawn Michaels' super kick.
Yeah.
But not expecting it, the wrestler coming into it, and then just getting caught on your fucking jaw, and then the back of your head is the first thing to hit the mat. And that concussion that night was the last time he wrestled, and then ended up having like a fucking seizure or something while he was riding a bike, and then had more damage to his body.
Yeah,
and it was fucked. It was almost a direct relation to his accident with the kick because his brain never fucking healed. And so still to this day he blames Goldberg for it, and Goldberg's apologized a bunch of times and all this shit. And like, Goldberg,
people saying that Goldberg is reckless as well.
Yeah, which Brock Lesnar disagrees with, which Undertaker disagrees with. So a lot of the big stars disagree with it, but you have guys that have been hurt, but it's just because they're bitter and they never lived up to the hype.
Yeah, that's for sure. That happens. You have those some of those guys.
Yes.
Oh yeah, please show that.
Yes.
Goldberg wore this.
Yes.
Look at that.
He wore this.
For people that doesn't know, that's the big gold belt. That's
right?
the same
Big
belt.
gold. This is big gold.
Oh, I love it.
That's the same belt that Hulk Hogan spray paint and WWO.
Wow.
Ric Flair wore this title. Sting wore this title. Dusty Rhodes. There's such a long line of wrestlers. Lex Luger. Even when it was in WWE, they brought it into WWE.
Yeah,
they got The Rock wore this title. Chris Jericho was the first person to be undisputed champion, so he held this and the WWE World title at the same time.
Wow, that's
Batista was a champion as well.
Yeah, Batista held this. Undertaker, Edge.
Wow.
Edge, shout out to Edge. Another
that's awesome.
Another alumni.
Oh.
That's awesome, boys. Holy shit. Dude, I love that belt.
It's so big though. Like, look at this thing, man. Like,
I know,
it's
holy crap.
That's why they call it the big gold belt.
Like,
yeah. Oh man, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. This is the last episode of Project 24.
And we
got
more lessons for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna switch over. We're gonna probably take a week off and switch over to the new show, the Doghouse Sports podcast.
Woo!
And
I can't wait, baby.
Man, yeah, I can't wait. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hell yeah!
Last time I'll be saying that about
Check
Project 24.
Check out our social media in the description below.
Yeah, man.
Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah,
we're gonna
everything.
get SoundCloud going back up.
Who knows?
Yeah, SoundCloud. We're gonna get back up. We're gonna
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts. Yeah, we're gonna try and get on there too. And man, it's just
the future looks bright. The future.
Yeah. Man, this has been a great, man. Thanks for doing this with me, guys. It's
anytime.
Helped me get to where we are now, and
I'm so glad I'm a part of this.
You guys have helped us get to where we are now, and helped me too, as kind of getting into this too. So I'm really thankful.
You know what?
And
one thing,
cheers for you guys.
One thing before we go though,
cheers.
I want to say this.
Yeah, buddy.
You, sir, are Corey Hart because you are wearing your sunglasses at night.
That's right, buddy.
Yeah.
So I can.
That's right.
Now that's a good way to end it off.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for our last episode of Project 24. It has been a ride.
Right. Guys, don't cry yet. We'll come back.
No, we're coming back with something bigger and better.
Argentina.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I look like one of those douchebags in the fucking club with my sunglasses on at night.
Adrian,
I
love you guys too, man. And man, this is the last time we're gonna be saying this, but this is Project 24, and we are
out of here.